Lebanon came with a slice trap, little inside reverse move to Aaron Pickett. Fake it inside and then give it back to Pickett against the grain. Nothing going there for Lebanon. Bubba Ligon will kick it for the Blue Devils. Deep to return is Schmidt for the Commandos.
Ligon at his own 20. Here they come after it, but he gets it away. High and lazy. Good kick and return. Loose football. And Schmidt beats 3 Lebanon players on it. That squirted up the field 5 yards right under a Blue Devil's foot. And Schmidt comes 5 yards and dives on the football and recovers his fumble.
Terry Stafford, he dropped it, and he got positive yards on the return.
I mean, he did. Ligon's kick good for 34 yards. It hit Schmidt right in the chest, bounced forward 5 yards, and he recovers, so he gets a 5-yard return. Hendersonville starting at their own 40.
Danny Parkerson made a dive at it, the long snapper, but he couldn't get there.
Hendersonville 1st and 10, 60 yards away from another score. They lead 21-0. 24 seconds remaining in quarter one. Hamilton barking the signals. Wall in motion. They give it to the fullback, Lou Allen, and he blasts through over the 43, 44, 45, gets all the way to the 46-yard line. A gain of almost 7 yards on first down, and it'll be 2nd down and 3.
Chris Britton, the strong safety, once again making the tackle for Lebanon. And if the strong safety and the strong corner are making a lot of your tackles, that means you're not getting the help inside out from the linebackers. That's going to be the end of the first period. Lebanon trails 21-0 to Hendersonville. We'll be back with the second quarter after this 30-second timeout. And we have Marvel and John Bryan bringing you all the play-by-play action of Blue Devil football in 1998, and we are at week 10, the season finale for the Blue Devils. Hendersonville High School, on the other hand, though, has more football to play. They are playing like it. Hendersonville with a 7-2 record and a 21-0 lead over the Blue Devils in the first quarter. Terry, it has been off to the races for this Hendersonville offense tonight.
Well, the Blue Devils just haven't gotten here yet. 2nd down and 4, and they give it to Alexander, trying to slide outside, and Alexander's popped after a 3-yard gain. Getting up off the bottom of that pile across the way is number 6 for the Blue Devils, and making that hit is Chris Britton, and that's about the best hit we've seen out of the Blue Devils all night. After a 2-yard gain, it will bring up 3rd down and a long yard for Hendersonville, with the football just outside the Hendersonville 48-yard line. 3rd and 1. Alexander coming to the near side as a wideout. Hamilton sets his ball club. They're on the ground, but they can go through the air. They hand off fullback, draw through the middle, spins, breaks a tackle, gets over the 50, down over the 48 to the 46-yard line of Lebanon. Kenny Lou Allen, the fullback, carrying a ball all the way down to the Lebanon 46-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10 for Hendersonville. We've just started action here in the second quarter. 11-12 to play, 21-0. Hendersonville leading, gaining almost 200 yards on the ground in the first period. 1st and 10 for the Commandos. Lebanon territory at the Blue Devil 46. Kelly Hamilton at the controls, brings Walls in motion to the near side and gives it up the middle on the draw. Lebanon sniffs this out. They cross the 45 inside the 44 to the 43-yard line. Hamilton carrying the football. Corey Hamilton getting the carry. As Tommy told you earlier, they use a lot of backs.
Ligon in there on the tackle for Lebanon, along with Orlando Easter. Dobson is in the backfield. Checking Antoine Ross is back there with Gerard Coggins and Andre Lowe.
And it is 2nd down and 7. And the hand is to Alexander. Alexander breaks a tackle at the 40. Roars down inside the 35 to the 34 and picks up the 1st down. Ryan Alexander showing a lot of speed and quickness, getting out of that backfield and through the Blue Devils. Moves inside the Blue Devil 35. Well, as a matter of fact, they're going to spot it right on the 35-yard line, where it will be 1st down and 10 for the Hendersonville Commandos.
It has been lopsided in the first down department area.
1st and 10 for the Commandos, Lebanon 35. Handoff, 2nd man through. No, Hamilton's got it. Comes out to the near side, makes a pitch. Lebanon's got Walls back outside the 40. And Antoine Ross is the guy that made the play. They pitched to Walls on the option. and Ross played it to perfection and knocks him down. Oh, my gosh, they're going to give him to the 37-yard line. A loss of 2. He lost about 6 on the play.
That's a terrible spot. We've strung it out to the sideline, and Ross came up and put the hammer on him, and Lebanon's losing about 7 yards on that.
2nd down and 12. Hamilton sets his team. Hamilton back, wants to throw, rolls out to the far side, now going to run. Hit once, hit twice, and Lebanon finally going to get him down as he moves inside the 35, over the 34, down to the 33-yard line. Hamilton couldn't find anybody open. Lebanon's defensive backs had them covered, and he pulled it down and made a good run out of it.
John, to you quickly.
He was tackled about the 41, the spot back at the 36. I can't understand why they gave him the forward progress. The pitch was even behind the point where they gave him the forward progress. So bad spot there. Of course, it cost the Blue Devils.
3rd and 8 is the good news. Bad news is they're in 4-down territory. Wall's coming in motion to the near side. Flag's going to fly, and I think too much time is going to cost the Commandos 5, I believe.
Speaking of time, it's time for our station ID. This is WANT FM 98 Lebanon, WCOR AM Lebanon, and you are watching, if you are watching this game on television, Lebanon Cable Vision 3, a production of the Lebanon All Sports Booster Club and Channel 1 Video Productions, Danny Bruner and Tick Bryan.
Now it will become 3rd down and 13 for the Commandos with 8:24 remaining in the opening half. Blue Devils trailing 21-0. Lebanon without a first down in this ball game so far. Hamilton sets his ball club, and they bring Walls in motion across the action, coming to the near side, the wide side of the field. Hamilton going to throw now, moves up on a quarterback draw, is going to be hit at the 35, and somebody really came up and stuck him, and they knock him back over the 35, but his forward progress, I think, is going to be inside the 35-yard line.
Jamila Kaysen had a good rush on Kelly Hamilton, the quarterback, but he tucked it and ducked inside and took the football back to the original line of scrimmage. They will be in punt formation.
No, they're going to try a field goal.
That's a trick play, folks. Get ready. No, they're in field goal. Okay, that concerns me. John, you've got the call of this 52-yard field goal attempt.
If he's got the leg on this, Tommy, he'll go Division I. Kick it the side. Whoa, flags fly. And it was good.
Well, he had the leg.
He had 8, 9, 10 yards good leg on that. So he may be Division I.
Offside Lebanon, it'll be good.
The play was called dead, though, so it's going to make him kick it over irregardless. He went ahead and went through the motions.
John, he just punched that one. He heard the whistle and just punched it.
Oh, I know it. Oh, if there's a sweet spot to hit on the football in the toe, he hit it on that one. He'll try it again. Jeremy Willis. We'll call this a 47-yarder. Snap is back. The kick is up. It's going to be long enough. Is it good enough? It is off to the left. He had 10, 15 yards good leg on that, but it's wide left. 7:22 to go in the first half of play. Hendersonville remains on top 21-0. The sideline report is brought Tire Company on South Maple, where your money buys you tires, not overhead. Go down there and see Jake. Give him a try before you buy. It's Rose Tire Company on South Maple. We'll take it back to the station.
John, let's leave it right here.
Let's leave it here because we're ready to start with the Blue Devil offense.
Lebanon will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20 after the missed field goal attempt. Lebanon trails 21-0.
Chase lining the wide out to the far side of the field. Blue Devils moving right to left as you listen in, and they bring across the action Gerard Coggins, and the pass is batted down by the big boy in the middle. Big number 78, Gary Sanders, got up and slapped that one down at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 10. They wanted to go to Lannon, and they had him open for about a 7-8 yard gain, and then maybe some yardage after the catch. But Big Sanders went high in the air and just batted that one down.
When you're throwing the slant, you cannot let the linemen get their hands up. The offensive linemen have got to make contact and get their hands down.
2nd down and 10. Coggins again in motion. And the handoff is to Ross. Ross got some room. 25-30, 35-40, 45-50, 45-40. Tripped up and dropped inside the Hendersonville 40, down at the 37-yard line.
Lebanon came on the inside counter play with Antoine Ross, the sophomore halfback, and Terry, he exploded up the sideline.
Tommy, from the Lebanon 20, he's finally tackled at the Hendersonville 37. 43-yard pickup. Antoine Ross, first down, Lebanon.
The first down for the Blue Devils tonight.
Well, the Blue Devils are in action now at the Hendersonville 37. First down and 10. Hand off to the near side, and Ross trying to come outside, and a big loss on the play. It isn't Ross carrying the mail. I beg your pardon. It's Dobson carrying the mail. And Dodson is stopped back at the 41 for a 6-yard loss.
Lebanon came with a buck sweep, faked the inside play to the fullback, handed back to Dobson coming on the near side, and there was 3 or 4 commandos there to greet him for the negative yardage on the play.
Lebanon had one blocker there, and they just roared over him. And I think we're going to have a timeout, Lebanon, which will be charged to the Blue Devils. 6:19 to play in the opening half, 21-0. Blue Devils on the short end of the score. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout.
Blue Devil football coming your way on WANT, WCOR, and Lebanon Cable Vision 3. Tommy Bryan, Terry Stafford, Clyde Harville, and John Bryan. We'll be bringing you Friendship Christian football on the radio next week. In the first round of the Class A playoffs, Lebanon trails Hendersonville 21-0. 6:19 to go in the first half.
Chad Lanning, the freshman, sets the Blue Devils down. Lanning wants to throw. Got a little time. Fires far side. His man is there. Antoine Ross thrown behind him. Got one hand on it. Almost pulled it in down at the 30-yard line, but it goes incomplete.
John, that's a good route. Ross out of the backfield, and it was open.
Keep the defender on the inside of Ross, and the only place that Lanning could throw the ball is against the sideline, so the receiver would either catch it or the ball would go out of bounds. It's just a little bit out of sync there, and that would have been a good gainer.
Now they bring Stevens in at the wideout, and it's 3rd down and 13 from the Hendersonville 41. Pickett in motion across the action, and back to throw is Lanning. Lanning throwing long. Stevens is there and can't quite catch up to it. Inside the 15-yard line, down at the 13. He was just a little bit wide, but he was open.
Tried to hit Stevens on the fade route down the sideline. Pump fake, hit him down the sideline, and just a little bit overthrown. Lebanon now looking at a 4th down and very long to go. Punt team back out on the field for the Blue Devils. Check it. Field goal team on the field for the Blue Devils. Bubba Ligon over the ball. Ryan Stevens looking for his holder, Matt Lassiter. And Lebanon may have to burn one right here. Lanning is in.
I don't think Lassiter's been back in since he was hurt earlier.
Lebanon's going to have to take a timeout to get things situated. Lebanon's field goal and PAT holder is Matt Lassiter. He is not in the game and has not been in the game since he got popped on that long run earlier in the first half. John, do you see Matt Lassiter from your vantage point?
No, Tommy, talking with the Lebanon coaching staff, we're not sure what his status is on the sideline at this point. We're going to ask and get a report here in just a minute, but we're going to have
Lanning's going to be the holder.
Lanning will be the holder for Stevens. Long field goal attempt.
Well, that would be 58 yards if he makes it.
Clyde, you take this call because this has got to be a fake.
This has probably got to be a fake. Stevens in to kick and to hold the quarterback. The snap is down. No, they set it down, and Stevens kicks it down the field, and it's going to roll into the end zone. And everybody going to chase it.
As good as a punt.
It'll come out to the 20. It was as good as the punt. It comes back to the 20.
And if we could have kicked it out of bounds at the 8.
But that thing never got off the ground. He kicked it right through the entire 2 teams out there.
Well, that's probably a pretty good little special teams play. Just like a punt, and you don't have anybody back to return it. So Hendersonville will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20. Probably as bad a field